is going on, everybody? It's your boy Sunny here, coming at you guys with another Neverwinter video. And by the title, you're here for the Barbarian Tank Beginner Guide, of course, And I'm having a lot of fun making these videos, guys. Truthfully, you guys have been showing me a lot of love with these. So I'm just going to continue with the series and everything and keep posting this content for you guys. And it's just been a blessing. I've been getting messages in game. People have been noticing me more. It's just cool, So shout out to everybody who's been supporting me since day one and everybody who's just tagging along now and just seeing me now, I really do appreciate it. I'm starting to get some haters now, so that's how you know you're making it in life, unfortunately. But, I don't really care. Shit like that don't bother me. People can say whatever they want about me. But, yeah, so there's my little rant in the beginning. But anyway, let's just jump right into the guide, right? Enough bullshit. If you do play Barbarian Tank, I do recommend that you guys have two different loadouts. So this one's going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to be going through both of my loadouts. But I'm going to be telling you guys the one if you don't want to have two different loadouts for your Barbarian Tank, then what to run then specifically. But yeah, all right, enough rambling. Let's just get into it. Right, come over to the power section. So your two at wills are going to be Sure Strike and Challenger Slash, right? I like to pop in. I use Sure Strike majority of the time. Occasionally I like to get off a nice little couple of Challenger Slash because that increases our threat. And being a tank, that's all it is. Maintaining the threat, holding the threat down. So these are the two dailies. Two dailies. What is going on right now? It's pretty late when I'm making these videos, actually. So just bear with me, guys. I apologize. But for your at wills, you can run, Sentinel Slash. It's alright. I played around with it a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of it, honestly. I don't particularly like it too much, but maybe you found a way where you incorporate it into your rotation or play style. Let me know where you use it at, because truthfully, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Bounding Slant is another one that's not my cup of tea. If you're on the second board in Loom, you could pop that on just to get to the boulders quickly. But other than that, I really don't see the necessary need for it because you don't really lunge that far, truthfully. But moving on to your encounters. Now, this is where things get difficult because this is where I run two separate builds because, I don't always like switching my powers. And there's certain feats down in the bottom that I'm going to talk about that you can't, you have to pick one or the other. But anyway, if you, I run Not So Fast, Mighty Leap, and Come and Get It, right? And I use Not So Fast, so I'm going to be doing this one a little bit differently. I use Not So Fast because I use On the Move. And Not So Fast increases the movement speed of self and nearby allies by 20% for 4 seconds. Okay, so I pretty much spam this. Truthfully, anytime it comes back, I spam it. I don't even really rely on this to do damage. Or even kind of, if I hit a couple enemies with it, so be it. But I use Mighty Leap just due to the fact is, it increases your threat generation by 6 seconds. And, it's just a nice aggro builder, truthfully. And I use Come and Get It. And you can also extend your Unstoppable with this. Come and Get It now grants the effect of Extended Unstoppable for 10 seconds, causing the effect of Unstoppable to persist for an additional 4 seconds. Not bad, right? So pretty much, I'll show you real quick how I run it. I'll hit Not So Fast, Mighty Leap, and then I'll draw everybody in. Maybe I'll hit a couple Challenger Slash, and then I'll go in for the Sure Strike. Just to kind of finish it all off real quick, just to show you how it looks in action. Savage Advance for my dailies, and Battle High. Now, the Battle High is crazy, bro. This is where you can get a shit ton of hit points for pretty much just using the daily. Increase your maximum hit points by 35% and restores the amount increased. Last 10 seconds. And Savage Advance reduces the target's damage dealt by 5%. So if maybe you're just, you don't need the extra HP, that DC is putting in the work right there, I would just recommend using Savage Advance, reduce the target's damage dealt by 5%. That goes for everybody in the party, so maybe you're helping out everybody instead of just, yourself, even though majority of the time the boss or whatever, the mobs usually just aim for you anyway. But, yeah, those are the two dailies I really run. You can run Crescendo. But also, I use Savage Advance for the crushing advance. Savage Advance no longer knocks the targets back, but reduces the target's down by 5% for 12 seconds. So I get that apply effect here. If you don't run this, then of course you're not going to get that, and you're going to knock back your target. But you can knock back a boss anyway, but on mobs and everything. If you really wanted to on mobs, you can run Spinning Strike. And then on the boss, you can run Savage Advance. But I don't be going crazy with it. A lot of the times I just use the Battle Hide. 9 times out of 10. Just whenever. Because I like sure the DPS is tapped off. So the DC doesn't always have to worry about me. So that's just my playstyle. I just prefer to be self-reliable rather than having to worry about healer. And she could just focus on keeping herself or himself and the DPS alive. Enough rambling on about the dailies though, you know what I mean? Moving on to the class features. I run Mighty Vitality and Threatening Presence. Increased threat generation. Increased threat generation. I think I said that the first time. Might or not. Man. It's getting too late, guys. Jeez. And then Mighty Vitality increases your maximum hit points by 10% and decreases your power by 5%. Regardless, at the end of the day, we're a tank. We're not going to be dishing out, crazy DPS numbers. It's going to go the top 3 DPS and then us and then the cleric. As long as she's a healer, That not to say that we don't do DPS, because you do want to be able to kill the mimics in Loom. I have no problem with it. But for the 10% maximum increase of hit points, for 5% decrease in power, sure, why not? I'll take that any day of the week. Like I was talking about really quickly, into the feats, leap into action. With the Mighty, increases our threat generation for 6 seconds. On the move, Extended Unstoppable, and then Crush in Advance. The only thing that is a little crappy is these 2 feats right here, because on this tank on the mobs loadout, I don't use IBS, nor do I use Bound and Slam. So this one is just don't matter what you pick there. Anyway, we're going to be moving on to the single target. This is why I have 2 completely separate loadouts. But this is where... Ooh, excuse me. Jeez Louise. I drank some hot chocolate and that shit is like coming back up on me. Dunkin' Donuts, man, I don't know. That's why I hate drinking that shit. Anyway, your at-wills are going to be the same. This is where things get a little bit different. Since this is a single target, we're only going to be focusing on usually one thing at a time. We're going to be running Punish and Charge, Enduring Shout, and Takedown. Battle High, Savage Advance for the dailies, nothing changes there. Mighty Vitality, still the same. Challenger's Charge. This is where things get a little bit different. Now, this places your Punish and Charge. So when you hit that boss, you're going to be at the top of the threat list automatically. So that's just a given, you know what I mean? If you're running on the boss, all you have to do is just hit that and boom, he's just straight on you. The Enduring Shout increases your maximum hit points by 10% and restores the amount increase. Just a nice little kind of boost to the crazy amount of HP we can get already. And Takedown. Takedown is really useful because of the feat right here, Disarming Takedown. When used under the effect of Unstoppable, Takedown now increases the target's damage taken from physical attacks by 10%. So definitely when you want to use Takedown is when you're building up, when you're using your Rage or Unstoppable. Just to get that effect added. So you want to make sure you incorporate that in your build. I would definitely, if you don't want to use 2 different loadouts, then I would definitely take this over on the move, if you only want to pick just one. And then of course I would swap. Then you would have to swap these feats and then the powers and everything. Because sometimes Come and Get It doesn't work on all the bosses. It will literally tell you. I'm trying to think. What does it say? It doesn't work. I know something pops up on the screen, but for some reason I'm just drawing a blank on not effect or no or something like that. I just can't think of it right now. Jeez. brain is getting shot sometimes. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be the same thing. So you're just going to pop your punish and charge. Make sure you're the first one to hit the boss. You know, I usually hit that Batteroid a bit, and then I hit my takedown. Just because on the tank build, you know, you build your determination up a lot slower than you do on the DPS. But I usually like to get my determination full before I use my RB button, just due to the fact is, if you time it right, as soon as you hit the RB button, I just want to show you guys real quickly, so I'm going to build it up. And then, yeah, alright, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as you hit RB, you want to use takedown immediately afterwards. So this way, you know, you can use your other moves, of course. But the big thing is, you can actually get 2 takedowns within one range of rotation. So that's pretty, not too shabby there, you know what I mean? So in one full rotation, if you get your bar up all the way, you can have 2 takedowns. So you can do pretty much, I mean, 90% of the time, if you're on the boss, if you do it correctly, you can have disarm and takedown on that boss. You know, so 10% extra damage than all physical attacks. That's why, you know, I think a lot of people be sleeping on the Barbarians as a tank. You know, like sometimes, truthfully, I'll just get flat out ignored because they'll be like, oh, sorry, I want a pally tank or something like that. But, you know, we do just fine. Honestly, we do just fine, if not better, just because of the feats we have. You know, I don't think a lot of people are unaware of that. But, yeah, if you're built correctly, you know, 10% extra damage on bosses, you know, a 20% movement speed buff. Our HP can get fucking in the millions. So it's just like, it's insane. But, yeah. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out. Like I said, this one is going to be a longer one because I want to incorporate both the single target and the mob loadout. If you guys do want to play 2 separate loadouts. But if you don't, like I said, I would recommend taking the disarm and takedown feat instead of on the move. And then you would just have to switch out your encounter powers, though, every time you do go to the boss. But anyway, like I said, if this did help you, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new. It's been your boy Sunny here, and I will check you guys in the next one. Peace out.